Have you ever noticed the most grounded, spiritually aligned people tend to live their life in ways that are quietly but very powerfully different somehow? Today, I'm sharing with you 6 things that highly spiritual people quit slowly and purposefully as they elevate their lives. If you're on a journey of self-discovery, these might be things or shifts that you're craving. The 6 shifts I'm going to share with you are actually deeply personal because these are all things that I have experienced on my spiritual journey. I'm Sally Oddy, a mentor and guide for women ready to unlock truly aligned, magical lives, whether that's in their businesses, their lives, their relationships, or just the way they're showing up for themselves. So let's dive into these 6 things that highly spiritual people give up gradually. The first one is seeking external validation. This one has been a huge one for me. People who are spiritually aligned slowly but surely stop looking outside of themselves for permission to be who they are. They stop looking for validation. And this isn't about completely being done with approval. It's about understanding that their self-worth isn't dictated by other people's opinions. They don't need validation or approval to live their lives the way they want to live them. This one is so powerful because when you release the need for validation or approval, you open yourself up to trusting your own intuition and wisdom. And I think this is why this release of the need for approval and validation is one of the most powerful shifts that spiritually aligned people take, because this is the path to understanding and trusting and hearing your own intuition and wisdom. The second thing is hustle culture. So spiritually aligned people step away from hustle culture. They realize that life is too sacred to spend in hustle mode. They also know that being in constant hustle mode means that you're holding on to things really, really tight and moving on to the next, onto the next, onto the next all the time. And that's not the way to release and open yourself up to all of the magic that the universe has in store for you. It doesn't mean that they don't work hard. It means that they respect their own energy. They let go of the idea that their self-worth is tied to their productivity, output, or actual results. And they shift into a more sustainable way of achieving goals for themselves. It's definitely less about the hustle and grind and more about intuitive alignment. So coming from years in the corporate world, this is something that I have really struggled with in the past. So it's definitely like letting the universe work for you instead of actually pushing against it. The third thing is letting go of fear-based relationships and connections. This can be quite a tricky one for people, but highly spiritual people let go of relationships that are built on fear, whether that's fear of being alone, fear of judgment, or even the fear of upsetting other people. And this doesn't mean just like abandoning people, but stepping away from connections that drain their energy. This is very much about boundary work. They choose relationships. They choose to have people in their lives that uplift them and bring this sort of mutual growth. I often say to my friend that I know when someone is good for me when I leave them feeling fuller than when I arrived, because I'm an introvert, so my energy can get drained very easily by people. And for me, I know the sign of someone who's a good person for me to be around because they fill me up. As much as I give, they give back. And this for me is the sign of a really healthy relationship. Those are the people that I want more of in my life. So as you're going through your spiritual journey, your spiritual growth, it often really reveals who is meant to walk alongside you and who is not. I've definitely had to let go of relationships that just no longer supported the life that I'm creating and who I am and who I have become. And it can be really, really challenging, but ultimately it's necessary for your own happiness, fulfillment, growth, and evolution. So the fourth thing they let go of is the need to control outcomes, holding things loosely, about understanding that the tighter we hold, we're leaving no space for new things to come in, things that we might not have expected or planned for. So spiritually aligned people learn to trust. They know that some things won't go according to plan, and that's okay because they know and they believe that everything is unfolding for them in exactly the right way that it should be. They don't have to try and control it, and it doesn't need to always look exactly like they thought it might look. So by releasing the need for control, they allow for a flow that's more intuitive and often more rewarding than they could ever have anticipated. The harder I've hustled, the further I've pushed away the goals that I was actually working towards. The less I've listened to my own intuition, the further away I've pushed the things that I actually truly desire for myself. The more I've leaned back, trusted myself, opened myself up to listen to my intuition, the better my business becomes. This is definitely a lesson that I have been learning as well. The fifth thing that they stop is negative self-talk and judgment. So they quit the habit of negative self-talk and judgment, slowly replacing it with compassion and self-acceptance. Highly spiritual people realize that being kind to yourself is absolutely necessary, essential for inner peace. They no longer criticize themselves for each perceived mistake. Instead, they see every experience as part of the journey, part of the rich tapestry of the journey. Everything is a learning experience. Little by little, self-kindness can completely reshape your inner world. And the final thing that they let go of is attachment to material success. It's not that spiritually aligned people reject wealth or achievements or even possessions, but they stop seeing those things as the ultimate measure of a fulfilling life. Instead, they think of success as things like inner peace, creative expression, feeling joy, feeling fulfilled, having meaningful connections with people, having an impact in the world. When we shift our focus from more to meaningful, everything in life starts to change. So there are 6 things that highly spiritual people slowly quit as they deepen their journey. It's not about achieving perfection. It's about living in greater alignment with what truly matters. If you're on a spiritual path, just take things one step at a time. And remember that all of these shifts are a gradual process. None of them happen overnight. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments which of these things resonate with you, or if there's something you've quit on your own journey that I haven't mentioned. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.